Welcome to SWAPC Junior, a fun, hands-on introduction to satellite engineering. In this STEM challenge, you'll design your own satellite by balancing size, weight, and power with cost. Every choice matters, just like in real space missions, and there's more than one way to succeed. SWAPC Junior is designed to be easy to use, highly engaging, and accessible for everyone. No complex maths or advanced tables are needed, just teamwork, creativity, and smart thinking. Most importantly, SWAPC Junior prepares you for the SWAPC Project Challenge, building the core skills, language, and decision-making engineers use when designing real satellites. Let's get started and take your first step on the path to becoming a space engineer. To help you get familiar and ready for the full SWAPC Project Challenge, SWAPC Junior uses the same satellite components with the detail simplified to 4 key elements: size, weight, power, and cost. This diagram shows in a simple visual way how the different parts of a satellite fit together during the STEM challenge. One important feature on each card is the interconnectors. To connect components, each one must share at least one matching shape and color. When there is a matching pair, the components can work together. This isn't just a game rule. It shows how satellite systems depend on each other and helps keep the satellite balanced, so parts can't be added just anywhere. Every challenge begins with a mission. Before you start building, you and your team need to understand exactly what the mission is asking you to do. The mission sets the goal and explains the requirements. By reading it carefully, you can make the right sensor choice and give your satellite the best chance of success. The mission tells you which sensor your satellite needs. Once you know the sensor, you can start choosing the other components that help it work properly. It's best to leave the satellite power and the launch vehicle until the end. That's because you need to know how much power your satellite uses before choosing a power source. You also need to know the total weight of your satellite, including the power system, before selecting a launch vehicle. Good engineers plan in the right order to make sure everything works together. This mission card is all about finding people who need help. The satellite must detect very faint SOS signals in the Alpine Mountains. To do this, it needs a narrow-band receiver. This special sensor is designed to listen carefully for weak signals, even if a skier is buried under snow or a hiker is hidden by thick woodland or deep valleys. Choosing the right sensor makes all the difference when every signal counts. Now that we've chosen the sensor for our mission, the next step is to select a satellite bus. The satellite bus is the main body of the satellite. It holds all the components together and provides the structure that allows the sensor and systems to work as one complete spacecraft. Choosing the right satellite bus is important, because everything else is built around it to help the mission succeed. When choosing the right satellite bus for your sensor, the first thing to check is the interconnectors. At least one shape and color on the sensor card must match a shape and color on the bus card. If there is a match, the components can connect and work together. This step helps make sure your satellite is compatible, balanced, and ready for the mission. We start by comparing the interconnectors on the bus we want to use. If the interconnectors match, the sensor can connect to the bus and the build can continue. This check helps make sure every part of the satellite fits together properly. We now have a satellite bus with a mission sensor. Next, we move on to the software-defined radio and we assess the interconnectors on the satellite bus to help us decide what the options are for which component to fit. This is the part that helps the satellite receive and process the signals. When choosing the radio, we think carefully about size, weight, and power with cost. Depending on the mission, you may need a radio that is smaller, lighter, uses less power, or costs less. There is no single right choice. The best option is the one that fits your mission and keeps your satellite balanced. We check that the two components are compatible to connect together. The satellite build is coming together nicely. The software-defined radio has the link connected, and you will see that any link can be connected to any SDR. Uplinks and downlinks are usually small and don't add much size or weight to the satellite. In the full SWAPC Project challenge, data rates are included to make the mission more realistic. For SWAPC Junior, we keep things simpler and do not consider data rates. This allows you to focus on how the satellite is built, without needing to worry about extra technical details. We've now built most of our satellite, so the next step is to look at the propulsion system. The propulsion system helps the satellite move and make small changes in space. It can adjust the satellite's orbit, help it stay in the right position, and keep the mission on track. Choosing the right propulsion system helps make sure the satellite can go where it needs to go and do its job properly. Once again, we check the interconnectors. We need to make sure there is at least one matching pair with the same shape and color. If the interconnectors match, the propulsion system can connect to the rest of the satellite. This simple check helps everything fit together and work as one complete system. With the satellite build almost complete, it's time to look at our options for a power source. The power system supplies energy to every part of the satellite, helping all the components work together. Choosing the right power source is important because it must support the mission without adding too much size, weight, or cost. This final choice helps bring the whole satellite to life. It's a good idea to keep a simple table to track weight, power, and cost as you build your satellite. This helps you understand how much power your satellite needs. To succeed, the total power generated must be greater than the total power used. This is the power budget. If the power budget is positive, the satellite has enough energy to complete its mission. This check helps make sure your satellite can keep working once it's in space. We carry out the final interconnector checks to make sure everything still matches and connects correctly. We also confirm that the power more than balances the mission. This means the satellite generates enough energy to run all its systems and successfully complete its task. With these checks complete, the satellite is ready for the next step. Now that the satellite build is complete, we know its total weight. This means we can choose the right launch vehicle. The launch vehicle must be able to carry the satellite safely into space. By matching the satellite's weight to the launch option, we make sure the mission is ready for launch. Before launch, we carry out the final interconnector check. The shape and color on the launch vehicle card must match the shape and color on the satellite bus. If they match, the satellite can be launched safely. This shows that the satellite's size fits within the launch limits. With this final check complete, everything is compatible and ready for liftoff. On this launch vehicle card, the weight field indicates the maximum payload mass the vehicle can carry. This value sets the upper limit on the size and weight of the satellite that can be launched using this vehicle. This additional launch vehicle has no weight limit. It represents a heavy-lift rocket capable of deploying any satellite. While it is not the most cost-effective option, it provides maximum flexibility by allowing the launch of satellites of any size or mass. Now the mission is complete. The table gives you a clear summary of the satellite's weight, power, and cost. This final overview shows how your design choices came together and confirms that your satellite is ready to succeed in its mission. To make the STEM challenge last longer and stay exciting, the teacher or facilitator can add extra requirements. For example, teams might be asked to build the cheapest satellite, the lightest satellite, the heaviest satellite, the most expensive satellite, or the most environmentally friendly or power efficient. You now have the tools, the knowledge, and the confidence to design satellites and succeed in all SWAPC Junior missions. Thank you for watching. We wish you the best of luck, and we can't wait to see what you build.